Hey card fighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central bringing you another budget match. This time our deck is the Dudley Spike Brothers deck, and our opponent is playing Glendios. As always, check the description if you want to find the article, the blog article for this deck. It's going to tell you a bit more why I'm choosing the cards, and why I chose to try this deck out in the first place. So as you can see, we're doing a very aggressive start, calling a booster behind Darkbringer, and that's going to let us apply some extra pressure, which he lets hit, so call that Devil Summoner, which gets another Devil Summoner, which gets a perfect guard. So we got that full field going pretty early. Unfortunately, the one Devil Summoner can't hit, but what can you do? And so this deck, I kind of decided, it's obviously off the Dudley engine, all the Dudley cards, the main boss being Dudley Lucifer. So we're going to need a lot of Dudley cards, and the Stride Dudley Geronimo, which lets all your units attack even from the back row. So definitely focusing on those two aspects makes a deck that has a very strong early rush. So I take that damage last turn so that I could get effects off with Gloria. I could get Mason's effects off. And you'll see they kind of combo in that I use Gloria to send Devil Summoner back to my deck, and then I'm going to hit with Dudley Mason, and I'm going to get the Devil Summoner back out. And then the Devil Summoner gods are with me because I get to call another grade 1. I call it behind Vanguard to fill up my full field rather than to get an extra attack off. Because I think that's a bit more important, just to set up for Dudley Geronimo. We're trying to build advantage rather than apply pressure to your opponent. So going into this turn, I'm trying to get rid of my Devil Summoners as they're not really strong attackers. I just want to keep my plays open. Going into here, we Stride Dudley Geronimo. This is a bit, I wouldn't really call it a misplay, it's just an error. When I built the deck, I forgot to add Flash Bruises to the G zone, so I would have used Flash Bruce in this situation if I had it, but unfortunately I didn't. It kind of works out okay anyway, mainly because we get the crit on Vanguard, and then swing in the rear guard, and the rear guard goes back to the deck, right? The crit's going to go back to the deck, which will prevent him from locking it. But I make two big misplays here. So the first is, well, big, maybe big, I don't know. The first is I forget to put the crit back into the bottom, and the second is that I gave my crit's effects to Vanguard, putting him at 5, which opens me up for Omega Loop, as you see happening right now. And the issue with that was it kind of locks my whole field and prevents me from doing any plays next turn. What I should have done is I should have put all effects onto my rear guard, which either forces him to guard it and not go up to 5, or sorry, it puts him at 4 and then it forces him to guard it so he doesn't straight up lose the game right then. So unfortunately I don't do that, and luckily for me though, he only has 4 reverse cards total, so we're just gonna get that 4 locks. And I decided to leave the front open because it gives me the most options. Either lets me go for a Dudley Lucifer play, or it goes for a Geronimo play. And as you can see, I just let him hit. He doesn't really drive check much, so I know it should be, a pretty quick win. Pretty easy win after this turn, but I do want to maximize my attacks just in case. So first I think that's a Dudley Geronimo play, so I go for a Stride, but then I realize Dudley Lucifer is way better because I can get, 3 attacks and much stronger attacks. So 3 attacks versus like 2 stronger attacks, right? And it works out in my favor. I get a stand and a crit, which he won't be able to guard, so I don't end up not having to use Dudley Lucifer's skill anyway. So that works out, and that gets me the game, and it's a pretty fun deck, to be honest. It's a lot more aggressive than the Bad End Bloody Ogle combo, I would say, just because, that combo is like you break ride and then that turn you win, whereas this one is kind of like we're trying to get Devil Summoners off, we're getting advantage off of Gloria and applying pressure with Dudley Mason, so I really like just the more like consistent, right? Every step of the game we have like some play that we can make, and I like that a lot more than the Bad End Bloody Ogle. So If you're looking to pick up Spike Brothers, but you don't really want to try that like standard Bata and Dragger break ride, definitely check this deck out. Again, link in the description below to the article. Thanks again for watching, guys. Please make sure to comment if you have any questions, any thoughts about the deck. Definitely subscribe for more content. Vanguard Central, out.